You've probably heard it before. Work hard, go to school, buy a home, retire in peace. That was the promise, the dream our parents believed in, the blueprint for a stable, middle-class life. But today, that dream is broken. Home ownership? Out of reach. Stable job? Uncertain. Retirement? Delayed or completely gone. So what happened to the middle class, the supposed backbone of modern society? And more importantly, what can you do about it? Let's dive deep. The middle class isn't just shrinking, it's being slowly, systematically erased. You see the signs: prices up, wages flat, debt everywhere, uncertainty around every corner. And if you feel like it's getting harder to keep up, you're not imagining it. The system has changed, but no one gave you the memo. Let's start with a simple question. What even is the middle class? Most experts define it by income. According to Pew Research, it's households making between 2/3 and twice the median income, roughly $50,000 to $150,000 for a family of 3 in the US. But that number doesn't tell the full story, because the middle class used to mean stability. It meant a single income could support a family. You could buy a home, own a car, take vacations, send your kids to college, and retire with dignity. And now, that same income barely gets you by, especially in urban areas. We've reached a point where healthcare is a luxury, college is a gamble, and rent can eat half your paycheck. Middle-class status isn't just about what you earn, it's about what you can afford to do. And for millions, that list is shrinking. Let's rewind. After World War II, the middle class exploded thanks to strong unions, expanding industries, GI Bill-fueled education, and affordable housing. America became a place where upward mobility felt real. Between 1945 and 1975, middle-class wages rose with productivity. Families owned homes. Pensions were common. One income was enough, but then something changed. Starting in the late 70s, productivity kept rising, but wages? They flatlined. Suddenly, families needed 2 incomes to stay afloat, and even that wasn't always enough. The dream began to fade. So what caused this collapse? There's no single villain. It's death by 1,000 cuts. Let's break it down. First, wage stagnation. Since the 1970s, worker productivity rose over 60%, but real wages barely moved. Meanwhile, executive pay exploded. In 1978, CEOs made 30 times more than the average worker. Today, it's over 400 times. Second, globalization. Millions of US manufacturing jobs were shipped overseas. Cheaper goods for consumers, but devastating for American workers. Entire towns lost their economic lifeblood, and it's not just blue-collar jobs anymore. 3. Automation and AI. Robots replaced factory workers. Now algorithms are replacing white-collar jobs, customer service, paralegals, even basic journalism. Gone, or soon to be. 4. Skyrocketing costs. Housing prices have outpaced wages for decades. In cities like San Francisco, even 6-figure earners feel poor. Healthcare costs have tripled since 2000, and a single emergency can wipe out savings. 5. Education debt. College used to be the golden ticket. Now it's a trap. The average student loan debt is over $37,000, and many grads earn less than expected. 6. Inflation plus shrinking benefits. While your paycheck stays the same, everything costs more. Groceries, gas, insurance, and remember pensions? They've been replaced by shaky 401ks. Together, these forces squeeze the middle from both sides. Here's the part we often overlook. This isn't just about economics, it's about identity. The middle class represented more than money. It represented hope, the belief that your kids would do better than you did, that working hard meant security, that making it was possible. Now, people feel stuck, working more, earning less, saving nothing. It breeds anxiety, depression, even rage. And that rage gets weaponized by politicians, by grifters, by those promising simple answers to complex problems. When people feel abandoned, they look for someone to blame, and society begins to fracture. Let's be blunt, someone always benefits. Big corporations love wage stagnation. Lower payrolls equals higher profits. The ultra-wealthy, they own assets, stocks, real estate that increase during inflation. The top 1% gained over $20 trillion in wealth since 1990. The bottom 50% lost ground. Politicians, they thrive on fear and division. The media, outrage keeps you watching. And let's not forget Wall Street. During the pandemic, while millions lost jobs, billionaires got richer. The system isn't broken, it's working exactly as designed, just not for you. Now, here's what really matters. What can you do? Because you're not powerless. Here are 5 moves anyone can start making. 1. Master financial literacy. You weren't taught how money really works. Learn it now. Understand taxes, inflation, compound interest, investing. Every dollar you save or grow gives you leverage. 2. Prioritize skills over titles. Forget chasing fancy degrees. Build rare, useful, transferable skills. Digital marketing, coding, design, sales, strategy. These are currency in the new economy. 3. Own assets, not just stuff. Don't just work for money. Make money work for you. Stocks, ETFs, rental properties, side hustles. Even a $10 a week investment adds up. 4. Live like you're broke, even if you're not. Lifestyle inflation is a trap. Just because you can afford something doesn't mean you should. Freedom comes from margin. 5. Think bigger than yourself. Vote with your wallet and your ballot. Support policies that tackle housing, education, and healthcare inequality. Your personal decisions matter, but collective action changes systems. So, is the middle class doomed? Not if we adapt. The game has changed, but there's still time to learn the new rules. Understand this. The 9-to-5 grind won't save you. College alone won't save you. Hoping the government saves you won't work either. But building skills, investing early, thinking independently, that can make all the difference. It's not about being rich. It's about being free. And freedom starts with clarity. The middle class is disappearing. But your awareness, that's your first defense. Now ask yourself, are you watching the collapse or building your escape? If this made you rethink everything, you'll want to see what we cover next. Take Sarah and Mike. She's a nurse. He's a public school teacher. Combined, they make around $100,000 a year. In the 1990s, they would have been solidly middle class. Today, they're renting a 2-bedroom apartment in the suburbs. They drive used cars. Their childcare costs more than their rent, and they haven't been on vacation in 5 years. Their student loans, still over $60,000. And despite working full-time jobs, they save nothing. That's not laziness. That's the math not working anymore. And it's not just Sarah and Mike. It's happening to nurses, teachers, firefighters, delivery drivers, even young engineers. People doing everything right, still falling behind. Here's the truth. The old rules don't work. The rules your parents followed: get a degree, work 40 years, retire with a pension, they're gone. So what are the new rules? 1. Cash flow beats credentials. What you can do now matters more than what school you went to. 2. Multiple income streams are the norm. Side hustles, remote gigs, rental income, digital products, not optional anymore. 3. You need to think like a business. Your time is inventory. Your skills are products. Your attention is currency. 4. Wealth is built in decades, not days. Avoid hype. Build slowly. Be consistent. 5. Community is a competitive advantage. Share resources. Trade skills. Lift others up, and you all rise together. These aren't hacks. They're survival strategies. Still not sure where to begin? Here are 3 low-barrier moves you can take in the next 7 days. Audit your spending. Find the 3 biggest leaks in your budget. Cancel, pause, or replace them with cheaper alternatives. Start an investment account. Use a platform like Vanguard, Fidelity, or even a robo-advisor. Start with $50. Skill up. Pick one course. Just one. Coursera, Skillshare, or even YouTube. Learn something with economic value. Small steps compound. They don't just build wealth. They build momentum. Here's something few people talk about: the emotional toll. Living paycheck to paycheck creates chronic stress. It raises cortisol levels. It hurts your sleep, your relationships, even your decision making. And it's not just about dollars. It's about dignity, feeling like you're failing when in fact the system is failing you. But once you realize that, you take the power back, because then you stop blaming yourself and start building your way out. This isn't just an American story. Middle classes are under pressure globally, in Europe, Asia, Latin America. Automation, housing crises, and rising inequality are worldwide issues. In the UK, home ownership among young adults has dropped by half since the early 2000s. In Canada, mortgage debt has exploded. In Germany, the wealth gap has quietly widened to historic levels. This is a global transformation, and the solutions may require global awareness. There's no going back to the way things were, but that's not all bad. Because while the traditional middle class may be fading, a new kind of middle class can emerge. One built on digital skills, remote work, ownership, and adaptability. It won't be handed to you. You'll have to build it. But in many ways, that's empowering, because the old system was rigged anyway. Now, you can design your own strategy. The future will belong to those who can learn fast, adapt quickly, and stay sharp. And that starts with awareness. You're already ahead just by watching this. Here's something the middle class was never taught to think about: generational wealth. The wealthy don't just earn more, they pass more on. Property, investments, private education, insider knowledge. Meanwhile, most middle-class families start over every generation. No inheritance, no assets, just bills and hope. Want to change that? You have to think decades ahead. Start building something your kids won't have to restart from scratch. Even a small stock portfolio, an investment property, or a business can create a ripple effect that changes your family tree. Because surviving the system is one thing, beating it, that takes long-term thinking. This isn't just about money. A disappearing middle class changes everything. Social trust declines. Political polarization increases. Populism rises. Crime can climb. Hope gets replaced with fear. A healthy society needs a strong middle. Without it, the gap between rich and poor becomes a chasm, and that chasm is where democracy starts to crack. Rebuilding the middle class isn't just a personal mission. It's a national one, a global one, and it starts with awareness, action, and persistence.